This is David Eldridge, and you're listening to the David Eldridge Financial Literacy Show. And on today's show, I want to discuss how to decide if it's time to hire a financial planner. And if you stick with me to the end, I'll share how you can get a copy of this for your own records. So, how to decide if it's time to hire a financial planner. Lots of people think that you have to be wealthy in order to work with a financial planner, and that's simply not true. Financial planners can work with people of all means and in all situations. What can a financial planner help you with? While there's a myriad of things that a financial planner can help you with, we'll just highlight a few things. So one thing could be around paying down debt, or if you're going to borrow more money. So either you already have borrowed money for student loans, a mortgage on a house or a vehicle, or you're getting ready to go into those next phases of needing to borrow money for college, looking at either buying a new home or refinancing a current mortgage, and it's time to replace a vehicle. Looking at those options, or helping to pay down what you are currently doing with vehicles. Of course, one big overarching thing that a financial planner can help with is retirement. What does your retirement look like? What are you going to do during retirement? And where is income going to come from? One of the linchpins there regards Social Security strategies. When to take your benefits. How does that interact with the other sources of income that you may have, if you have a pension or not, and the other resources that you've saved for retirement, which could also include some, part-time work or transitioning into another phase of your life, or a business for that matter. Maybe you qualify for VA benefits because you've served the country and you have some veterans benefits available there, which could also be in the form of a pension. One other big one that comes up a lot is around taxes. And it's not giving specific tax advice, but really helping you plan accordingly now through your working years and even during retirement, how to efficiently minimize your tax bill as much as possible, so that way you can spread that tax liability out over time. So when should you think about speaking to a financial planner? So speaking with a financial planner can come in lots of flavors and situations. But really, anytime you have a question or a concern that may be followed by a dollar sign, either yourself or your spouse or partner having discussions regarding where do we really stand, and are we in a good spot to have that sounding board? Because maybe you're at a place that you need a new perspective. We're just entered 2022 and starting off the new year and looking at a different perspective on either the way that you have been doing things. Maybe you have been working with an advisor or a planner, and you're looking at fresh ideas and things that may be able to benefit your overall situation. Another thing that comes up a lot of times are triggering events. So triggering events or life events. So if you get married, joining essentially two financial situations from both spouses and partners, whether that's the income that's coming in, the assets that you have, also liabilities that may come up. Maybe on the flip side of that, you're going through a divorce, or you've gone through a divorce, and you need to really understand where you stand and how you can continue moving forward, whether that's continuing working, already retired, etc. Maybe someone in your household, a spouse or partner, passes away, or some family member passes away, and you need to understand how does that affect your overall situation, which could include in receiving some type of inheritance from a family member or friend, or potential reduction in income because your spouse or partner has passed, and you need to figure out where our resources are going to come from. And you may not need 100% of what you were receiving before. Now that there's one less person in the household, you don't have all those same expenses. And the other big piece of why you might look to work with a financial planner is that you're getting closer to retirement. I'd say this is probably the most common one, but to really understand if you're in that that 5-year, 10-year window or sooner plan of that's when you're wanting to retire, whether that's 65, it's 60, it's 55, it's different for every situation. But getting an assessment of where you stand, what type of expenses do you have today and what type of expenses do you foresee in retirement and how those may change. Where do you want to live? Do you want to continue to live in the same place that you are now? Are you going to, travel a lot more and maybe be on the road? Maybe in an RV or something like that, or you split time, or even live somewhere completely different, whether that's in warmer climates like here in Arizona or Florida or wherever that may be, or spending time living with or visiting kids and grandkids, so you can spend time enjoying that, and really understanding, okay, where's the income going to come from? What have we done to save for retirement up to this point? What about our Social Security benefits? Do we have pension benefits? Do we plan or have an interest of working maybe on a part-time basis or not as we're making that transition into retirement? And making sure that your investments are aligned to those goals, so that way, the biggest question I get is, don't want to run out of money, and definitely don't want you to run out of money. So making sure that we're looking at any of those potential, pitfalls or holes that may be there in the overall financial plan. So really being there as that, that extra sounding board for you, so that way can help, mediate conversations sometimes of different opinions between spouses, but getting an unbiased opinion from a fiduciary financial planner can really go a long way to help you understand where you're at. No different than getting an assessment from your doctor and looking at your situation and saying, okay, here's where you are, and here's some changes that we'd recommend, and here's the results. These are the tests that came back that if you don't make these changes, these are the illnesses or things that could happen in your life. If you'd like a copy of how to decide if it's time to hire a financial planner, please reach out. You can contact me directly at the office, 602-500-7726. You can email me, david@eldridgecapitalgroup.com, or go directly to my website. That's eldridgecapitalgroup.com. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the podcast. We are now on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, as well as Amazon.